All right, question six. Question six, solve for x. All right, so I take a look at my equation here, and first of all, do I have any fractions or decimals? Nope, so I'm good to go. All right, so do I have distributive property that need to be used? Of course, I've got a -2 here that's going to need to be distributed. So that is where I am going to begin, is with my distributive property. So I'm going to distribute the -2 to the 4 and the to the x, excuse me, and the -2 to the 4. Now remember, it talks about making sure that we are aware and we're paying attention to that negative, okay? We always want to make sure that we're paying attention to that negative right there. All right, so since we want to make sure we pay attention to it, we're going to carefully do our distribution. -2 times x is simply going to be -2x. -2 times a +4, negative times a positive means a negative, and then 2 times 4 is 8. Then the rest of this, because that's outside of parentheses, I'm just going to bring down. So +1 and equals 5. All right, so we did distribution, and before we do anything else, we like to go ahead and we are going to make sure we put our line where our equal sign is, and we're going to use our boxes and circles. Boxes, again, we use those for our variable terms. Okay, so I've got the one variable term. Circles we are going to use for our constants. So, and we always want to make sure we've got those operators, okay? Make sure we have those operators because they help us see what's what. Okay, so now the next question asks, are there like terms on the same side of the equal sign? Okay, well right there I can see I have a -8 and I have a +1 right there together on the same side of the equal sign. So I am going to just bring down the -2x. -8 plus 1 is going to give me -7, and then the 5 is still by itself over here. So again, I can use my boxes and, all right, my circles to help me be able to identify pieces. All right, so I combined my like terms, okay? The next question says, are there variables on both sides of the equal sign? Well, no, I only have one box, so I don't have variables on both sides of the equal sign. Do I have constants on both sides of the equal sign? Well, yeah, I have circles on both the left and the right. I always want to move my constant away from my variable, so I'm going to move it away from the -2, so I'm going to move the -7. And so this, to use the inverse operation, means I will add 7. All right. So when I add 7, the 7's on the left are going to cancel, which is going to leave me with the -2x. And this is part of why we want to make sure we box in including those operators, okay? So I'd have a -2x equals, and then 5 plus 7 is going to give me 12. All right, so there's that. Now I just need to get rid of the coefficient of -2. The coefficient is multiplied. So the inverse operation is to divide. And again, make sure you divide with the negative. You've got to divide with that negative. All right, because the -2 divided by -2 is what you need to cancel those 2's out and leave yourself just the x. If you didn't do the negative, you would end up with a -x. So we do the -2, and then 12 divided by -2. Signs are different, so it's going to be negative, and then 12 divided by 2 is 6. So we get x equals -6.